Hello and welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. What's up, Laker fans? We're going to talk Lakers today. Talk about the number 2 pick. Talk about Lonzo Ball versus De'Aaron Fox versus Josh Jackson. What should the Lakers do and how will Lonzo Ball fit with the Lakers if they draft him? Now, I'm going to sound like a bit of a hypocrite and a backtracker, and that's fine. But if you recall, after the Lakers got their number 2 pick, I said, hey, I don't want the Lakers to take Lonzo Ball. I want them to take Josh Jackson over Lonzo Ball. If you remember back in March, when I was watching March Madness, I said, hey, I want the Lakers to take Josh Jackson over Lonzo Ball. I've now changed my tune. I want the Lakers to take Lonzo Ball over Josh Jackson. Now, let me explain why. It is not because I'm like, well, the Lakers are going to take Lonzo Ball. I better start liking Lonzo Ball. No. And if you follow my NFL draft analysis, you know I don't change my opinion because my team did or is going to do something. Okay? Remember back when the Titans drafted Adoree Jackson? Yeah. Do you think I like that pick today? No, I still don't like that pick. I don't give a damn what my team's going to do. I want to evaluate before the draft, come to a solid conclusion, and then react to whatever they do. And just based off their players, just off of prospect, just a pure on-the-court play, I still think Josh Jackson has better potential than Lonzo Ball because Lonzo Ball's scoring upside is limited. If you want to hear me talk more about that, go to my Lonzo Ball scouting report. So essentially, I've not changed my opinion on Lonzo Ball at all. I've not changed my opinion on Josh Jackson's game at all. But as I was doing digging and research for the draft, I found Josh Jackson's off-the-court issues. And man, they are issues, okay? So, Josh Jackson, first of all, had 2 huge issues this year. Number 1, he backed into a car in the parking lot, drove off, never to be seen again, okay? And he knew that he hit the car. He was fined, I want to say, like $1,000 for that. You know, to some, that's not a big deal. To me, that's a big deal. Because who does that? I know people that do that in real life, and they piss me off. Why would you do that? Okay? So that pisses me off. But then number 2, and this is the worst one, this is the big one. So apparently, there was a certain woman, either at a party or some sort of event, something like whatever, where they were gathered with a basketball team or something like that. And basically, there was an altercation that took place. The woman left the premises. She went to her car. She got in her car. Josh Jackson followed her, was outside of her car saying, I'm going to beat your ass. Come out here for talking trash or whatever she was doing. And then apparently he kicked the, like one of the tail lights and, you know, busted it and like hurt the bumper and some other crap. Okay. Okay. That concerns me, dog. Now, he was 19 when it happened. I'm 20 right now. I would never do anything like that. Jesus. And anyone that I do know that would do something like that is a clown. Okay? And I would never want to draft a clown with a number 2 overall pick. Thus, I now prefer Lonzo Ball over Josh Jackson. That's it. I've not changed my opinion on Lonzo Ball at all. I still think, by the way, I'm not critical of Lonzo Ball. I mean, I'm critical of his weaknesses just because, you know, we're talking about drafting with the number 2 overall pick. But remember, and someone was so shocked about this, I give him a grade of 87, 88. It ended up being 88, which means, hey, this is a future all-star player. This is going to be a top 10 point guard, maybe even top 5 point guard in the NBA. He's going to be really, really good. My question is, hey, his scoring upside is limited, and he doesn't really do anything outside of pull-up threes, driving, and alley-oops in his offensive game. Defensively, he has some issues and some other stuff that I talked about in my Lonzo Ball scouting report. I've not changed my tune on those things. He's still the same guy to me. But remember, that's still a really good, scouting report that I gave to this guy. I still think he's going to be a top 10 point guard in the NBA. I am of the belief that he will be of the Steve Nash, John Stockton, Jason Kidd level. And all 3 of those guys are going to the Hall of Fame. Okay? Or, all of them, Stockton, I think he's already in there. Kidd will, and Nash will. These are Hall of Famers. Ball could go down that road. But because the NBA is becoming such more of a scoring league and such an emphasis is being put on scoring point guards, I find those guys to be of much more value. Like a Stephen Curry, like a Russell Westbrook, like a Damian Lillard. I find them to be a bit more value of a retrospective Steve Nash, of a retrospective Jason Kidd, of a retrospective John Stockton. And Kidd, Nash, Stockton couldn't win. Kidd won a championship I'm talking about. Kidd won at the end of his career when he was like the 4th or 5th best player on the Mavericks when he was like 36. Okay? Those guys don't win. guys like Stephen Curry, guys like Kobe Bryant, and guards that score a lot, they win, okay? And make an overall impact and whatever. I thought Josh Jackson could be that, and I still think he could be that. I mean, he still has a lot of Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George to him. But with the off-the-court issues that I now know, I prefer Lonzo Ball and his junk. Because Lonzo Ball has some junk, and his name is LeVar Ball, right? That's his junk. But I prefer that junk over Josh Jackson's junk. That's some junk, okay? And also, Josh Jackson has some technical fouls and just some overall fouls that he gets every game. Screw that. Lonzo Ball is a favorite guy. I want Lonzo Ball now, okay? That's why I've changed my tune. Now, De'Aaron Fox. Some people want Fox. And why? Because he's going to be a better scorer than Lonzo Ball, presumably. And that's probably right. I agree with that assessment. But that's literally, to me, the only thing of which Fox does better. Lonzo Ball is a better rebounder. Lonzo Ball is a better passer. Defensively, we want to make the argument that De'Aaron Fox is a better defender. I don't buy this entirely. Now, Lonzo Ball struggles against the pick and roll, the high pick and roll specifically, where Fox killed him. But Lonzo Ball averages more blocks. Steals is about the same. I have to check again, but I'm pretty sure Ball averages more. I got to check that, but I'm pretty sure Ball averages more. He makes more plays defensively. He has more length, more upside defensively than De'Aaron Fox. Fox is just quicker. Okay, so he's able to get some quick steals, have some quick hands. But other than that, Ball has higher defensive upside. To me, can cover eventually the shooting guard position if you need him to, the point guard position, and then even maybe the occasional small forward, okay? And then whenever a shooting guard, a wing player, a shooting guard, or a small forward drives into the lane, Lonzo Ball can get a block from behind, as he did so many times in college for UCLA. So when you combine all of that, I don't want to hear about De'Aaron Fox. I like Fox. To me, he could be a top 10 point guard right there. Is he top 10? Kind of like where Dennis Schroeder is right now. Like, I guess so. Maybe. You know, maybe like have a couple years where he's definitely top 10, but then he'll fade out again. Lonzo Ball will be really, really good. Now, the LeVar Ball nonsense, let's talk about that just a little bit. Now, it's going to upset me throughout the entire tenure of his time as a Laker, because this guy's not going to shut up, right? He's just going to talk for the rest of our lives. LeVar Ball will be talking until he dies, right? That's just the damn truth. That guy's going to run his mouth. Okay, but when you look at Lonzo Ball, the actual player, this guy is going to be really good. And in terms of his intangibles, his character, I buy it. He's not that talkative, actually. He's pretty much an introvert. He's shown that. In terms of his character on the court, it's pretty good. One time he dunked on a kid and he stared him down, but that's not too bad to me. If anything, that shows intensity, so I actually like that. He's fine. His father is going to be annoying, okay? But I think it really won't matter too much as long as everyone can just tune him out, including the coaches, the players, everyone. Just tune him out, okay? And I wish that Lonzo Ball, and this is where I get into parenting, and I really don't want to get into that and the family dynamic, but Lonzo, can you just tell your dad just shut up? I mean, please. I know the whole thing about respect and, you know, you gotta have respect and whatnot, but, I mean, I would just tell my dad, dude, shut up. I mean, you're just talking too much, because what's gonna happen is, let's say DAngelo Russell's on the team, and Lonzo Ball and DAngelo Russell, one game they play poorly, and then, you know, LeVar Ball is going to say, oh, D'Lo can't play with Lonzo Ball, which is going to be ridiculous. And by the way, one other thing I want to talk about, let's just move on from that, because there's no winning with LeVar Ball. D'Angelo Russell. So people want to talk about D'Angelo Russell and his potential fit with Lonzo Ball. Oh, we need to trade D'Angelo Russell. I think y'all are nuts. What is one of my biggest problems with Lonzo Ball? He's not a very good isolation scorer. When he's in isolation, he's going to do one of three things. He's either going to drive for a layup. Actually, he's only going to do one of three things. He's either going to drive for a layup or a dunk. Okay, maybe include some crossovers, but that's pretty much it. Also going to pull up for a three or step back for a three. That's literally it. That's all he got. Now, I know like maybe 3 times, if you put on his entire college tape, 3 times he drove in and he pulled up for a mid-range. That doesn't happen. He's either going to pull up for a 3, step back for a 3, or drive all the way to the rack and maybe like pass it out. But in terms of actually scoring, those are the 3 things in isolation. That's all he does. So you're telling me that you want him to be paired with a catch and shoot Bradley Beal, maybe what's that guy's name, Danny Green type shooting guard? No, you want Lonzo Ball to be paired with a DAngelo Russell type shooting guard, a guy that can take the pressure off of Lonzo Ball when it's time to go to isolation, a guy in the fourth quarter, okay, who can get the ball, make some moves, also be able to pass to a Brandon Ingram, to a Julius Randle, to a Ivica Zubac, to a Timofey Mozgov. If for ungodly reason he is starting and playing in the fourth quarter, please God, don't start him or play him in the fourth quarter. You can have this guy finding those guys and finding Lonzo Ball, who does really well on catch and shoot threes. Okay, a guy that you can move him around in screens, off the ball, get him open for three. He shoots a much higher percentage on catch and shoot threes versus contested isolation, pull up, and step back threes. Although he can hit those, he does much better in catch and shoot, as does a lot of people, but Lonzo Ball, definitely the case. So when I see people talking about DAngelo Russell and Lonzo Ball can't play together, what a bunch of junk! As Lonzo Ball can, hey, when you don't need him or you don't want him to get the ball in the fourth quarter, go isolation, DAngelo Russell can do that. Lonzo Ball is moving off of the ball, can shoot, catch and shoot threes. For example, you can run a play where, okay, DAngelo Russell is now handling the point. Lonzo Ball is moving across the court. He's getting a screen. He gets the ball in the wing, not open. He can, boom, zip it to Brandon Ingram. Boom, zip it to Julius Randle. Boom, zip it to Ivica Zubac. They finish inside. It just, to me, this offense will flow a lot better. You don't need to have the prototypical Devin Booker or, you know, Bradley Beal, Klay Thompson, CJ McCollum, catch and shoot three guy. To me, the best pair, the best match for a Lonzo Ball is a guy, a shooting guard who can dribble the ball up the court from time to time and take the pressure off of Lonzo Ball, who cannot score in isolation. I mean, he can score in isolation, but he's not great at it. Especially in the NBA, when you're just doing three things, dog. You're just doing three things. Rajon Rondo is going to shut you down. Patrick Beverley is going to shut you down. Plenty of guys are going to shut you down if you're just doing those three things. But if you have DAngelo Russell now handling the point at time to time, or from time to time, doing some things, Lonzo Ball moving off of the ball, then you have this offense flowing nicely. So again, when we talk about drafting Lonzo Ball, I think he and DAngelo Russell will be a great fit together. Russell can take the ball up the court from time to time, take the pressure off of Lonzo Ball, allow Lonzo Ball to get open for some more catch and shoot three possibilities, and overall improves the ball movement in this Luke Walton scheme. Okay, this Luke Walton philosophy of moving the ball all around the court, all five positions, being good passers. You want DAngelo Russell at the two to me. Try it out for a year, see how it works. If it doesn't, then okay, we can move on next year. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Lakers #2 pick. Lonzo Ball versus De'Aaron Fox versus Josh Jackson, and how DAngelo Russell and Lonzo Ball will potentially fit together. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. This has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.